That's my new dog, Bear, over there, dragging a leash along. And my other dog, Magic, is around here somewhere. We are in Mexico at some square in, I think they call this the Central District or Centro. We just went to the Telcel phone office because my use of data, sending videos, is quite extreme and uses up my package right away, so I end up paying $15 for 2 hours, which is a drop in the bucket. It's nothing like what I need. And just when it was seeming like there was no way to make it work, the agent named Alba, who was wonderful. Oh my God, she worked so hard for me and thought so hard, and it actually turned out to have good English. Oh, there's Magic over there. Mexico is loaded with street dogs, so people don't blink at the sight of dogs wandering free. It's extraordinarily different from the U.S. So, you know, Mexico historically and in literature and dreams is the place where you go to have dreams come true from the U.S. Robert Earl Keen has a song called New Life in Old Mexico, and as opposed to other literary things like Thelma and Louise, where people never quite manage to make it to Mexico, and that he's got this song, New Life in Old Mexico, where you do. And I've drawn a lot of hope from that for probably the last year, ever since Corpus Christi a year ago in April. I was in Corpus Christi, and he was from, I don't know if he spent a lot of time in Corpus Christi. He's got a great song called Corpus Christi Bay. Well, I've been here 6 weeks, and it does feel to me like, although so many things have been quite difficult, my car mostly off the road with $1,300 in repairs and no money in our pocket most of the time, including today. I just continually feel like this is the place where I'm meant to be and where my dreams have already started to come true. And Telcel brought some of that to fruition. Early in the COVID, I was in the mountains north of Asheville, North Carolina, and was being followed by a medical care home health team from the Mission Hospital in Asheville. I can't remember whether it was the concussion I had or what it was that were following me for. But one of the guys who drove an hour north to Burnsville to see me he bragged that his car was set up as a Wi-Fi. So everywhere he went, he had Wi-Fi. He didn't have to go looking for Wi-Fis, whereas our life continues to be an ongoing search for Wi-Fi. And I've had the dream ever since then that somehow maybe my van, and it's a new van, different old van since that one, could be set up that way. And the agent, Alba, after long struggle saying, no, it's just not possible to do anything other than what you're doing, she finally said, well, here's the one way it could be. We could sell you a router, and all of this was in Spanish, but my Spanish was enough that we were able to communicate. And you pay for the router up front, and then a certain amount every month. Mi perro, es mi perro. Gracias. Yeah, he's wild, a very rambunctious perro, but buen perro, muy amable. Le gusta las personas.
Anda buscando novia.
Novia, nuevo de mí. Yeah, 2 semanas solamente de mí. Y esto es un año. Ay, hermanos. Muchas gracias, señor. Oh! Hey, was he great or what? Was he great? He's apparently something official. He was gonna do something. I don't know, he grabbed the leash, but he was fine. Yeah. So, yeah, so it's exactly what I had dreamed of. And I would buy the router up front, and I could move the router from the car to a hotel or a coffee shop. Or it's still not unlimited minutes, and they recommended that if you can get on a Wi-Fi someplace else for a while and not use their minutes, that would be a good thing to do. We're going to be traveling through parts of Mexico where that might be quite hard, but our target of the Yucatan Peninsula, where there are all the resorts and stuff, that probably could work out fine. The challenge right now is that I need to have a Mexican citizen sign on it, because in the same way that the banks here will not open an account for a non-Mexican citizen, I have to have a Mexican citizen sign on this. And they would be financially responsible, but if we set it up for automatic payment right at the time in the month when my Social Security check comes in, that could be fine. So, could work, don't know yet if it will, like everything else. Oh, Bear decided to sit right by me here. Our trip down here was pretty wild. Bear, 2 weeks with me, is still kind of a wild child. He's really attached to me and to Magic. They truly are hermanos at this point. But not crazy about the car. He's gotten a lot better. It used to be I had to shove him into the car. Now I just drag him on the leash to the door and he hops right in. And I drove as smoothly as I could coming down here, but before I knew it, Magic likes to ride in the passenger seat, shotgun. Before I knew it, Magic was in the shotgun seat, and Bear was his hind legs on the console and his front legs spread over the dashboard, so that I could not see anything to the right. I couldn't see the right mirror, I couldn't see anything to the right. And it was just like riding a bucking bronco there. And I found it hysterically funny. I mean, I had to really, really pay attention to what I was doing, but it was hysterical. And then he switched, and Magic was still in the passenger seat, and Bear was all four legs surrounding Magic with his head sticking out the window. And Magic, bless his heart, just loves Bear so much at this point. And he's not submissive to Bear, because if Bear crosses a boundary, Magic lets him have it, and Bear respects that. But Magic just sat there and took it off, never made a peep. Oh boy. So wild. Life is wilder than ever before. But good, rich, good. And as you can see, everything's so different here in Mexico. The public squares, the benches are not in perfect shape, and they're usually concrete like this, so they will last forever. But people have their phone on their hip instead of a gun on their hip in Texas. I think it's still accurate that private citizens are not even allowed to own guns in Mexico, which I think is a great deal. Now, the right-wingers will say, oh great, cartels out there, and I want my AK-47. No, this is much more civilized country than the US, sorry. Much more. And look at this, trampolines. They have trampolines. Now, in the US, that would be too much of an insurance risk. They never, ever would do that. But it just doesn't work quite that way here. And all kinds of wonderful foods around the square, none of which I can pay for, because all my money is tied up right now. Not that I don't have any, but it's held up from Western Union on its way to the mechanic, who will take half of it and give $600 US money to me to get through the month, and a lot of which will go to Telcel. Okay, great. It's a good day. Good day in old Mexico. For me and the Dos Perros, I call them the Dos Hermanos, and together we are Los Tres Amigos. Great.